Hi people, you're welcome back to my channel. This is Sapphire Needles. Today we'll be making this beret. Stay tuned to the end and learn how to make one. This is the fabric I'll be using. I've already folded it to rectangle. Then I'll fold it again. What I'm going to be using, I need the whole length of the circle, that's from the midpoint to each point, to be 6 inches. So the whole length of that circle is going to be 12 inches. So what I'm going to do is, from this apex I'll measure out 6 inches all round, so by the time I open it up it's going to be 12 inches. I hope you understand. I want the length of the circle to be 12 inches. So from this point I'm going to take 6 inches. By the time I open up the circle it's going to be 12 inches. So from this point I'll take 6 inches. I'll just take 6.5 because I'm going to be sewing. So I'll just do 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Now I'm just going to connect this dots right here, just like this. Now go ahead and cut it. So this is what I mean. By the time I open it up like this, it's going to be 12 inches. Remember, I put half an inch for sewing allowance, so now it's 13. This is what I mean when I say. So now from this apex, from this point right here, this is the midpoint. This is the midpoint. So from this midpoint, I'm going to be taking my radius. Circumference is 22 inches. Because I want it snug and fit, I'll be doing 21 inches. To get the radius, we already know 21 inches by 6.28. That's going to be giving me about 3 inches. So from this midpoint, I would measure 3 inches out all round. 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, and 3 inches. Now I'll just connect the lines. And now that we are done, I'll cut it out. So I'm done. So I'll be needing 2 pieces of this full circle, or 1 piece and a lining, and I'll be needing 2 pieces of this one without the radius. Cutting this out, I've also gone ahead to iron my interfacing. So I have 2 of this, 1 of the full circle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place one of these circles on this one, just like this, and then I'm going to sew it round right here. I'm going to sew it round, and then I'll show us what it looks like. Okay, so I'm done sewing this all around. I'm done sewing this round. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I would trim off the excess. I trim off all of this, and then I'll just go ahead and notch, 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 notch all around. So now that I'm done, I'm going to flip it just like this. So as you can see, our beret is taking shape. Look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it. So next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to place this second one. I'm going to place it like this, front facing front, and then I would pin it down all around. So I've pinned it down. Next thing I'm going to do now is just sew it all around. Okay, so now I'm done sewing it all around. So that one, I'm done joining it to this piece, just like this. So what I'm going to do now is I will notch it all around. And then I would flip it in, just like this. So our beret is taking shape. So let me just say something here. If you want your beret to have a loop, right at this center, put a hole here. Not a big one, just a tiny hole where you can just put in that loop. Or you could just decide to put a button right here. So if that's what you want, you just bring it all out again. Fold this just like this, and then into two again. So this is my midpoint right here. This is my midpoint. So if I want to put a loop here, I'll just cut it just a bit, just a tiny little bit, just like this. So look at it. Look at it. Here, I don't know if you can see it. I'll just make a loop and then put it right here from the inside and stitch it there. But if I don't want it, I'll just put bots in here. Whatever rocks your boat is fine. So moving on, now I'm done with this. I would take the other piece of, so if you remember, I said this one piece and a lining for this, but now I don't want to use a lining. I still want to use the same fabric as facing. So this is my lining of, I'm going to put it like this, front facing front, just like this. I'm going to close up this cap and then I'll pin it around. So after pinning it around, I'll leave this point. I won't sew this point about 2 inches because that's where I'll turn it up from. So let me go and sew it all around to this point, just from here all around to this point. Then I'll flip it over from here. Okay, so I'm done sewing this round. This is the part I left to turn it inside out, so I'll just flip it over from there. And then here I'll close it up here. So I'm done closing it up, and our beret is ready. So you're just gonna iron it with your tailor's ham and make sure. And this is what it looks like. Isn't it lovely? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.